Hi. I'm back again with a new job. I finished the dividing head adapter, and now I've decided that I'm going to try and solve the problem that I have with the new tailstock that I built for the Taig, and so I'm going to have to set it up so that everything is square, which is what I'm doing at the moment. And I'll put, oh no, I can't put any light on. Okay, this is the underside of the part of the tailstock that slides onto the main block at the back that runs along the 5/8 diameter bar. When I made it, I made two plates and put 45s on them and screwed them with flathead screws. I can't remember what size now, 440, something like that. And I doweled them in place. I put 2.1 diameter rollers that came out of a Torrington bearing, and I used them as dowels, and they measured 0.1, and so I placed them in there as well, and then of course this is the section that fits on the block that slides on the rod, and so I screw it down to tighten everything together. Unfortunately, this idea wasn't very good, because it indicated that these two dovetails had to be spot on without any movement sideways, and it wasn't possible, not at the time when I did this. So what was happening was, as soon as I put pressure on a drill bit or a center, the little bit of play that was in between these two dovetails would allow this block to move about 5 thou. This face would move back 5 thou. That meant that the center was being pushed out of center. So I have to come up with another idea, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same as what I did on another block. I'll just get it. So this here is a block that I made for the contour absorber blanks, and you can see one is already on here, and I use that for forming the handle on the new ball handles that I made for the Taig. So what I did was I milled up a couple of pieces from commercial bronze, free cutting bronze, and I installed one of them permanently in one side, and the other side I doweled with two dowels going in from this way. As you can see, the two dowels, again they're 0.1 diameter hardened rollers, needle rollers, and and that allowed it to be a good fit on in here, but at the same time I could slide it on and just screw that, and that would pull the two dovetails together and grip the main block really good, so there wouldn't be any play. So I've decided that I'm going to do the same thing on my tailstock. So the first thing that I've had to do is to measure the parallelism in the vise of the shaft or the quill that goes through. Now what I did was I used my digital scale on my x-axis, and I dialed in for each side using my x-axis scale, and zeroed the two ends. So now I've done that, I have to run the dial indicator along here and find out how out of square it is. Bearing in mind that this was all done on the saddle of the, when I bored this out for the quill, I had to clamp everything on the cross slide of the lathe, of the Taig lathe, so there wasn't a lot of room, and of course at the same time I had to get the height exactly right as well. So I got a feeling that these dovetails are slightly out a little bit, so I'm going to run the dial indicator. Now that I've got this parallel on my y-axis, I've got to run the dial indicator along here and find out if it's square, and I don't think it is. So that means that I'm going to have to do something, reposition these two dovetails, two parts of the dovetail. I'm going to have to reposition them somehow so that they are actually square with the x-axis, and okay, there we go. I hope that doesn't put too much of a glare on the job. Okay, I came down to the 0 on my x-axis, and by gently tapping this around the vise, I managed to get this parallel with the x-axis. And so I'll just I don't think there's any point in showing you that. You just use your x-axis and your in my case I've got a digital readout on the x-axis, and I just used the dial indicator plus that to get everything square. So I'm going to wind this up now. And take this off of there and put that round that way, and wind the table out. Okay. I'll get a read in and we'll see how much is out. I'm quite surprised. It's 4 thou. 0 it. Huh. That's 0. That's showing 2 thou. 2 thou out. So I'm not gonna complain about that. I think what I'll do now, this is the side that is going to be solid. That's going to stay solid. So I have to make sure that that is now running parallel. And I've got a feeling maybe it isn't. I don't know. So let's see now. I'm going to measure the inside face if I can. I guess maybe I shouldn't have the belt on, but the belt gives a little bit of tension on there. So the dovetail is the important part, not the outside really, I guess. Make sure. Okay, that's 0. That's there. Okay, I'll 0 that in. Zero. Okay, that's -1. Let's see. That's +1. So now it's +1.5. So that needs to come this way. Okay. guess I didn't do it. I guess I didn't do it the right way. Brass. What do I do with that? Is that it? Oh, I've got it here. I've got the dowel. I don't have the dowel in this one. I've got the dowel in that one. Yeah. So that should, hopefully it should move. That's better. If I can get this. What I will do in this dowel here, now that it's moved, the dowel hole will be out of line. What I will do once I've got this set, I will eventually drill down there with a taper drill, a taper reamer, and use a taper dowel to locate this side, and then that should hold everything nice and snug. Just a little bit more. Huh, come on. The trouble is these are flathead screws and they might influence. Let's try it now. Yeah. Okay, that's 0. Nah. That's even worse. I'll leave this one loose, I think. No, it's not going to go. I'm going to have to. It's probably stopping it on that face there. Nah. Yeah, it's the screws. So what I'm going to do, I think I will clamp that in position and then and then reamer this hole. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Let's see, have I got a dummy dovetail? Maybe I do have. Alrighty, well, I'm going to cut that off from there, cut the video off now, and mess around with this, and this is going to take a few days. I'm going to mess around with it and see if I can get it working perfectly. Okay, I'm going to call off now, and I'll be back with another video to continue on.